Bonjour, comme allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Learn French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In today's class, we are going to continue with the revision for CBSE Class 10 French Exam 2022-23 and today's topic, Pronoms personnel. This video is going to be the concept revision. And most probably in the next video, I'm going to take a few questions. Okay, all my other videos based on the revision for CBSE Class 10th exam for 2022-23 are present in the playlist titled the same CBSE Class 10 revision videos, and the link to that playlist has been provided in the description box below, so you must check out other videos as well if you have not yet. So today we are going to discuss about personal pronouns. We are going to do a concept revision. We are going to discuss about each and every pronoun that we have under this topic and their application. Okay. Questions, of course, we will discuss in next video. Okay, so you may note down this sort of table along with me side by side. It will be helpful. So first I have written all the subject pronouns that we have in French. Okay. Subject pronouns, je means I, tu means you, il and elle, third person singular, he, it or she, nous means we, vous means you, either in formal sense or in plural sense. Okay, second person plural. And il and elle will be what? Wait, the fire. Yeah. Il and elle will be what? Third person plural, which translates to they. So we are going to have some pronouns corresponding to these available subject pronouns. Sometimes in your pronoun personnel question, it could be possible that a proper noun is underlined. For example, Paul aime des fleurs. Paul aime les fleurs. Easy, right? And Paul is underlined. Now you might think what to do of this proper noun. If the proper noun is underlined, then you need to change it or convert it to the corresponding subject pronoun. Okay. So Paul, if it's the main subject, suppose Paul aime les fleurs, Paul is underlined, les fleurs is underlined. Okay. So Paul will correspond to il, third person singular masculine, il, aime, and before aime you will have the direct object pronoun les fleurs. Now what's direct object pronoun? Of course we are going to discuss in a few minutes. So let's discuss further. I'm writing here now. Okay. In case a negative sentence appears, then how we are going to tackle with it using pronouns. That's why I am using na here. So this we know very well from now onwards that after the subject, if it's a negative statement, the first thing that we are going to have is na. This will become an apostrophe if the word after it begins with a vowel. Okay, let's draw a line once again. After na, what's the first pronoun which is possible? It is a reflexive pronoun. For example, for je, the corresponding reflexive pronoun is me. For tu, it's the. For il and elle, it's se. Nous, it's the same. Nous, vous, it's the same. Vous. And for il and elle, se. These reflexive pronouns are what we use while conjugated pronominal verbs, and sometimes we use it in non-pronominal verbs as well, like il me dit, il me demande. Right, we say like that. Il te demande, he asked you. In that way also we use reflexive pronouns. So these are your reflexive pronouns, right? Always used in pronominal verbs and in other verbs also in a few cases, right? After reflexive pronoun, you can have your COD. Direct object pronoun for complément d'objet direct. Now in complément d'objet direct, you have certain options to choose from. You have le, you have la, you have l apostrophe, and you have les. Le for masculine singular, la for feminine singular, l apostrophe for singular nouns. No, not for singular nouns. When the next word begins with a vowel. Okay. Fine. And les for plural. Do we noted that if a word begins with a vowel and it's singular and we are replacing it with a pronoun, it will be either la or la if it's singular, okay. This L apostrophe thing will happen if the word immediately next to it is beginning with a vowel, then la or la will get converted to L apostrophe, okay, for liaison, right. Now, when to use COD? Now, complément d'objet direct answers to two types of questions, qui and quoi, who and what. And direct object pronoun, the indicator is what? Of course, it answers two types of questions. And the second thing, that it is not preceded by any preposition. Okay, COD is never preceded by a preposition. Its counterpart is COI, which is preceded by a preposition. So let's discuss about what is COI. Complément d'objet and direct. Indirect object pronoun, you have two options to choose from here, lui and leur. Also, in some websites and in some books, you will see that ma, ta, nu and wu written in under COD and COI as well. It's just that I was being taught in this manner, and this way it's more easy to memorize, right? That's why I follow this approach, in which we are having all these as just a reflexive pronoun, and under COD we have these many, and under COI we have these two. Okay, it's easier to do in this way. So lui for singular and leur for plural. When to use COI? COI is used when the complément d'objet and direct answers to two types of questions, à qui and à quoi. To what and to whom. Okay, to whom and to what. So à qui and à quoi. Direct COD answers to qui and quoi. COI answers to à qui and à quoi. Now this to whom and to this thing, to what, there we are using the word to. It means there is a in there, right? So you can say that COI you are going to use, these lui and leur you are going to use when when some noun is preceded by a, and not like any noun, because when it's inanimate object preceded by a, you use the pronoun e, which we are going to discuss now, don't worry. Okay, then you use e, right? But to make things easy, you can memorize in this way, that we are going to use COI most of the cases when there's a person or a group of person preceded by a preposition a. Not preposition, yeah, or article. No, not article, oh god. Okay, preposition. It could be O as well in some cases, like aux étudiants, right? Then aux étudiants. Le professeur parle aux étudiants underlined. So, le professeur leur parle. Okay, plural. Fine. So, it won't be like a always, it can be some contracted form as well, like AUX or AU, ALA. Okay. This was your COI. To be noted, lui and leur are irrespective of whether feminine or masculine. They are just dependent, COI is just dependent on the number. For lui, singular, and leur is for plural. Okay. After COI, what you can have? You can have the pronoun Y or pronounced as E. Though Y is pronounced as Y when we say A to Z in French, but when we use it as a pronoun, like Ilya, we say E, right? Also, just let me check real quick whether the recording is taking place properly or not. Yep, it's going on perfectly fine. Did I tell you this thing, that why do I check it again and again? Because once it happened a few days back only, like I started a video and after 2 minutes, somehow the phone got tilted and I didn't get to notice that. And after, when I was about to upload the video, I noticed that such glitch has happened, such error or a mistake has happened, right? So I had to re-record the whole video. That's the only reason why I keep rechecking, right? Anyways, that's not the topic of discussion. E. When to use E? Inanimate object inanimate or non-living object preceded by, and yes, it's, if I'm saying for use it for person, it can be for living beings as well, for example animals and all, right? Inanimate by, what I mean by inanimate, non-living. Inanimate object preceded by preposition are. Okay, for those we are going to use e. And what's the other case? And the other case is complement of a place. Place when preceded by prepositions like sur, which means on, chez, which means at the place of, what else? Dans, which means in. I guess entre is also there if I'm not wrong. No, en is there. Okay, en is there, a is there. So when a place is preceded by such prepositions, then also you are going to use pronoun y or pronounce this e, right? To be noted that when you are using e, the preposition is also getting replaced by it along with the noun, right? Now let's move to the next one. Next one we have en. Okay, when to use en? En will be used when first complement of a noun preceded by partitive article. Partitive article are which ones? Du, de la, de, the L apostrophe. Okay, in that case you are going to use en. And the second is this thing, complement, wait, expression, complement de lieu, complement of place, e, right, when preceded by these preposition. But when the complement de lieu, complement of place, is preceded by the, place preceded by the, in that case also you will use en. And the last application of en for from the perspective of CBSE curriculum is what? Quantity, expressions of quantity, for example kilo, litre, beaucoup, etc. To be noted that when you are when you are replacing a noun which has an expression of quantity with en is replacing that noun only. Okay, it is not replacing the quantity, the expression of quantity. So that expression of quantity will be there. For example, beaucoup will remain. Okay. After en, what we can have? After en, we will simply have the verb. Okay, all these pronouns are going to come before the verb. Fine. Now, this verb in tenses in which we have an auxiliary verb, in this place we will have an auxiliary verb then. For example, futur antérieur, plus que parfait, passé composé. In such tenses, auxiliary verb will come here. And otherwise, in tenses like futur simple is there, or présent conditionnel, or simply the present tense, we are going to have the verb here. Okay. After the verb, what do we do in negation? Pa. Okay. After pa, what do we put? In case it's a tense like plus que parfait, futur antérieur and all, we are going to have a past participle as well. I hope this line will be visible in the recording. Past participle. Now, past participle will be followed by one more thing. What? The subject-verb agreement. Right. Now, that subject-verb agreement will be followed in two cases. If the auxiliary verb is etc., we are going to follow it always, undoubtedly. Right. For instance, if the subject is masculine singular, then no change. If masculine plural, then s added in the past participle. If feminine plural, then es added in the past participle. And if feminine, then only e added in the past participle, right? This thing is done always when auxiliary verb is etc. And when auxiliary verb is avoir, if we have a COD pronoun, direct object pronoun in front, then we will do this subject verb agreement, otherwise not. Okay. Now I have written na and pa here. We have so many negative expressions, right? For example, na, rien. Then we have which ones? Okay, quelqu'un and quelque part I would like to discuss once. Like quelqu'un and quelque part. Quelqu'un, negative counterpart na person, and the quelque part is a null part, right? Na null part. So in these two expressions, we put the expression after the past participle. So of course, the structure is going to be slightly different. And in the remaining past participle negative expressions which are there in the syllabus, we are going to place those expressions in place of pas. For example, déjà. And déja's negative is what? Ne pas encore. Encore's negative is what? Ne plus. So pas encore and plus are going to come in place of pas. In case we have a negative expression. Though I don't think such complex question can come, but we never know. One or two questions can come like this, right? So it's better to discuss all the cases. And past participle is there. I've discussed the subject verb agreement as well. Now one more thing that I have to discuss here is what we will do to this structure if we have futur proche or two tenses, sorry, not two tenses, two verbs together in present. What do we do in this case? Now, how there can be two verbs in present together? First verb, helping verb, and the second verb will be the main verb. For example, j'aime manger, I like eating, right? In that sense. So we can have, very well, we can have two verbs in present tense as well together. First one will be usually, the first one is conjugated and the second one is not conjugated, right? And in futur proche, what do we have? Subject plus present tense conjugation of aller plus the infinitive of the verb. Now in such case, the pronouns will come before the main verb, that is, which is in infinitive. Okay, we are not going to put the pronoun before the aller's conjugation, present tense aller conjugation in case of futur proche, and in case of when two verbs are there in present tense together, we are not going to put the pronoun before the helping verb. We are going to put the pronoun before the main verb. Okay, this is one point where students may get confused. So I had to discuss this point. And there's another point that I want to discuss. Just wait. Only in imperative affirmative. Though I should have written affirmative first, but never mind. Only in affirmative imperative, the pronoun, these all pronouns will come after the verb. Only in this particular case. When there is negative imperative avec négation, in that case, again the pronouns will come before the verb. But only in case of imperative affirmative, we are going to have the pronoun after the verb. Okay, again, let me just check the recording once. Yep, it's going on fine. Okay, so only in imperative affirmative, we are going to have the pronoun after the verb. Okay. Fine. So now I want to rub the entire thing off because there's another topic which I wanted to discuss. Now, of course, you may not consider it to be a topic under pronom personnel, but if you see the sample paper, this topic is very clearly present in the question, and that topic is pronom tonique. Okay, though it's a different topic altogether, but you are going to have a combined question of it, and maybe in the question you are not even mentioned that you are going to answer with pronom tonique. No, it is usually written just as utilize pronom personnel, right? Pour remplacer les noms, something like that. That's why I feel that pronom tonique needs to be discussed. So let's not leave it undiscussed, right? Now let's add a subheading, pronotonique. Pronotonique or stressed pronouns used to add emphasis. Okay. Pronotonique, we have a list of pronotonique corresponding to all the subject pronouns. Okay, let's first quickly write those. I'm writing il, el separately because they are separate pronotonique. Il, el, nous, vous, il, elle. For je, it's moi. For tu, it's toi. For il, it's lui. For elle, it's the same elle. For nous, it's nous. For vous, it's vous. For il, it's a. And for elle, it's elle. And what about the meaning? Moi, me, toi, you, lui, him, elle, her, nous, us, vous, you, a, them, and elle, them. These are what your pronotonique are going to mean. Right. Stress pronouns, we use it for stressing or putting emphasis on something. Right. For example, c'est moi. This is me. Who did this? Like that. So, c'est moi, c'est toi, whatever, you say Louis, we can have this application as well. But if we talk about from the perspective of CBSE class 10 French exam or CBSE class 10 curriculum, what do we have? We are using pronotonique when we are using a pronoun after the preposition. Okay, say avec or sans. Okay, in the, or chez, even chez, in some cases we use pronotonique, right? So, in such a case, when there is a preposition and after you have the underline after the preposition, not the preposition is, not that the preposition is underlined, no, only the noun is underlined. In that case, you can go for pronotonique, right? And tonique pronouns are never placed before the verb. So this is one striking difference between pronotonique and pronopersonal. Pronopersonal are placed always before the verb. Of course, there's this exception of imperative affirmative. I'm not talking about that at present. So pronopersonal, all the pronouns before the verb, most of the times. But in pronotonique, no, they are not placed before the verb. In fact, they are placed after the verb or after the preposition, right? So if we talk about CBSE curriculum, after the preposition. So yeah, with this we complete the concept revision of pronopersonal, and of course we discussed another topic as well, pronotonique. So yeah, let's put a halt here. I guess I have discussed all the points. Yes, I have discussed all the points. Perfect. So yeah, okay, one small example. Futur proche I had written in the notebook. I discussed with present tense, but futur proche I skipped. Okay. Je vais prendre, I am going to take. So je vais prendre, futur proche, prendre is the main verb. So whichever pronoun you are using, it will come before prendre and it will not come before vais. Fine. So yeah, let's put a halt here. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Learn French with Anubhav. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You may also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas que la langue française est l'amour.